What is the Priestess Wound really? Welcome back, beautiful souls. Today I want to talk about something that I feel is deeply misunderstood in spiritual spaces, the Priestess Wound. Because the Priestess Wound is often spoke about as though it is simply a fear of visibility, a fear of speaking, or a fear of sharing your gifts. But honestly, I think it goes much deeper than that. And I also think that the Priestess Wound is very different from the Witch Wound. The Witch Wound often carries themes of danger, persecution, and survival. But the Priestess Wound feels far more emotional, more internal, more connected to suppression, silencing, emotional exile, and disconnecting from your own sacred expression. And this is something I've been reflecting on deeply lately, both within myself and with so many spiritually aware women that I speak to. Because for a long time, I thought I simply had a consistency problem. I thought I need more discipline, I need to push harder, I need to stop overthinking, I need to become better at showing up. But the deeper I began observing myself, the more I realized there were moments where self-expression itself felt emotionally unsafe. Not dangerous, but exposing. Like parts of me had learned to soften, shrink, or suppress themselves in order to feel accepted, understood, or emotionally safe. And I think many women are carrying this without even realizing it. To me, the Priestess Wound is often connected to suppressing your truth, disconnecting from your voice, shrinking your wisdom, minimizing your gifts, withholding parts of yourself, emotional self-censorship, feeling too much, feeling unseen or dismissed, losing trust in your own inner knowing, and feeling disconnected from your sacred feminine power. And what's important is that these patterns are often subtle. They don't always look dramatic. Sometimes they look like over-explaining yourself, dulling your message, hiding your depth, abandoning your intuition, constantly questioning yourself, emotionally shrinking around stronger personalities, or struggling to fully own your gifts and disappearing after moments of visibility or expansion. And often these patterns were learned slowly over time, sometimes through family dynamics, sometimes through relationships, sometimes through environments where your sensitivity, wisdom, or emotional depth was not fully received or valued. And of course, through past lifetimes as a priestess. So parts of you learned to suppress, to soften, to become smaller, or to disconnect from your deeper truth. Not because you were weak, but because those patterns once created emotional safety. And honestly, I think this is why so many spiritually aware women feel exhausted around visibility work. Because they're trying to force external expression, while internally still feeling emotionally disconnected from their own voice. That creates so much pressure inside the nervous system. And this is also why I don't believe healing the Priestess Wound is simply about being more confident, because confidence is not the root. The deeper question is often, do I feel emotionally safe being fully expressed as myself? And that changes everything. For me personally, I've realized there were times where I felt safer being partially visible than fully expressed. Safer sharing surface level things than speaking from the deepest truth. And I think that many women experience this too, especially women who are deeply intuitive, emotionally aware, and naturally sensitive. Because when your gifts, truth, or emotional depth have not been fully received in the past, parts of you can begin disconnecting from your own sacred expression without even realizing it. This is also one of the reasons I created the Akashic Soul Alchemy Oracle deck. Not simply as guidance, but a tool to look for deeper self-awareness, emotional healing, and soul remembrance. Because when we can finally see the hidden emotional patterns clearly, We stop judging ourselves so harshly, and we begin reconnecting with the parts of ourselves that were never meant to remain suppressed. Healing the priestess wound may look like rebuilding trust in your own voice, reconnecting with your intuition, allowing your truth to take up space, expressing yourself without over-explaining, emotional honesty, embodiment, self-trust, softer visibility, and releasing the need to shrink yourself to feel accepted. And I think this is such an important part of the healing journey, because healing the priestess wound isn't about becoming louder, it's about reconnecting with the parts of yourself that learn to become smaller. So if this resonated with you today, I'd genuinely love to know in the comments, what part of the priestess wound do you relate to the most? Have you noticed ways you soften or suppress your truth? Do you feel emotionally safe being fully expressed as yourself? And if you'd like to explore this work deeper, you can explore the Akashic Soul Alchemy Oracle deck, activations and offerings below. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for allowing yourself to move deeper into this conversation with me. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you again very soon.